Dude. Yeah. All right, man. All right. Okay. All right. Mm. All right. So let's see if we can find something on silver. So basically, silver's been consolidating in a range for the last mm, since about 6:30. The market has been trading in this range right here. The market's been trading in this range right here. So uh, it's best to look for a break of at least that high and that low. Shit, gold has been going crazy today, man. Uh, if you're not trading with Top Step or any of these Project X accounts, I think the new contract is now April for gold. So it's the J contract. So if you want to be with the most current contract that majority of people are trading, it's the J contract, April's contract. So hey, yo, what's up, Cave Trader? Fear, 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 fear. Looks like gold has been moving. Looks like gold is already broken out of that. Gold is broken out of it. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Shit. Gold has been moving, man. Gold has definitely been moving. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna come back and look at gold. Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna come back and look at gold. I think I've come to accept gold for what she is now. Um, I've come to accept gold for what she is. She's gonna she's gonna reject that pivot now. I mean, I've been kind of back testing it, and 8 times out of 10, I mean, honestly, I've back tested about a couple of weeks now, and she's been trading consistently at that pivot. Uh, it's rare that she goes straight for that order block now. So my strategy has been readjusted mentally. I just have to actually execute it, honestly. Initially, what I think I'm gonna do is I don't want to do that. I still want to give myself just one trade a day, and just trying to figure it out as I go. Because let me see. Because I really don't want to do that, honestly. I really don't want to do that, but. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. You talking about gold? Yes, she did. Her and silver. Her and silver. You say Apex has a 90% off? Hmm. Hmm. Honestly, I think I canceled all my Apex accounts, actually. Let me make sure, because I think I did. Or I may have one, maybe. Maybe I have one. But I think I canceled all my accounts because I kept getting to the goal and blowing it. Because Apex also doesn't offer micro silver. Honestly, I feel like if a firm is not offering micro silver, but is offering the full mini, I just feel that that's just predatory. There's no reason to not offer micro silver. Like, there's literally no reason. But I can understand that if you're not offering the minis right along with the micros. I mean, if you're not offering the minis, then okay, yeah. But if you're just offering the minis and not the micros, I feel like that's predatory. Yeah, I've canceled all my subscriptions on Apex. I said that was going to be my last account with them. That trailing drawdown just goes against everything that I believe in. Goes against everything I believe in. And I'm just tired of every time I get to I make 15,000. I make $20,000 in that account. I gotta make $20,000 in that account to pass it, dude. I'm kind of done with big accounts. I'm not making 20K in an account anymore. I'm not doing it. The only account that I'm going to keep, the only big account that I'm going to keep is the futures desk account. That's about it. But no more Apex accounts, no more Blue Sky accounts, no more 20K accounts. I'm done with those. I'm done. Honestly, I don't even want to make 9K anymore. I'm just gonna stick to the 50Ks and call it a day. And copy trade across the 50Ks if I want a big payout. Just buy a couple of 50Ks and just thug it out like that. I'm sorry to see that, game weight. You said Cody White, so you had a bet that he would make over 15 points, but he only made 14. But I know that shit hurt. Oh, I know that shit hurt. Smith was actually doing sports betting too. He actually, dude, it's always the ones where you're cautious, and those are the ones that hit. And if he were to just went big, he probably, I mean, he was up, I think, what, 2K on a $50 bet. So he, 20x or however much that is on his sports bet, and it was a small bet. He hasn't been showing me any. I'm pretty sure he eventually blew it, but yo, when you put money on the line on a sports game, all of a sudden that game becomes the most important. Like, all your emotions come out when you watch that game, dude. Especially when you got money on it. And he says that he's never been so in tune with the game before he put money down on certain things to happen. So apparently gambling just makes life more spicier, apparently. It adds spice to life, apparently. Honestly, I wouldn't. When it comes to sports betting, I don't know, man. I couldn't get into that. I just don't ever want to put my money on the line with something that I don't necessarily have any control over. Because with trading, you don't have control. You don't have the control of how the market moves, but you do have control of when you get in and where you get out. That's where you have control at. But with sports betting, man, you're betting against the script. They already they already know where all the money's at. So let's just say that everybody was betting to make or betting that Cody White would make 15 points today, and they saw that shit, and it was like, man, hey yo, Cody, you ain't about to make 15 points today, my guy. You about to make 14. Cause I mean, shit, it's you gotta sports is categorized as entertainment, meaning that it can be scripted. That's why when they say that games are potentially rigged, legally the NFL, basketball, any of these sports leagues is not legally bound to give you a fair game. It's entertainment. They can do whatever they want. It's scripted, or it can be scripted. That's how I should say it, right? So because I understand that, I don't bet on stuff like that. Because I saw a game and it was a crazy comeback, and you just know that the script writers was like, yo, or Vegas called and was like, yo, all the money is, because dude, the team should have been a sure win, but then the underdog won out of nowhere, and I was like, yeah, damn, what? I think it was like the Bears versus somebody or something like that. It looks like the Bears have been doing really good though. It was one team. I forgot what team it was, but you can just tell that the way they came back, it was just super rigged. So I was like, all right, well, it was scripted. I guess I should say it that way, because all the money was on one side of the fence, and they can't pay everybody out if everybody's making the same bet. Well, you know. But anyway, game weight. Shit. Better luck next time. Better luck next time. Cause I mean, I know you're not done. I know you're gonna probably you're looking for another play right now. Probably looking for another play right now as we speak. to try to get back them try to get back that loss. Shit, speaking of loss, so you're done? Are you done? Or are you just done for the night? But yeah, we all know that sports betting is scripted, man. I wouldn't even waste my time with that. Or I wouldn't even waste the emotions with that shit. That shit is super rigged. Ah, shit. I don't even see that, man. I'm not done. Super clear. I'm shining like the sun, man. You can't pick a wrong one. Everybody in there. My diamond super clear. I'm shining like the sun, man. Anyway, says he's super done. How did your trading go today? So I guess we can talk about it, right? We all saw Powell stand on business today. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. We talked about the political games that are being played right now. I stated that if Powell were to cut rates today, because yesterday the FedWatch tool had the possibility of a 25 basis point cut at 2%, which just thinking back, that FedWatch tool when it comes to rate cuts have been very accurate. I mean, it's been very accurate. So it's safe to assume what that that FedWatch tool says is highly likely to happen, because I don't think I've seen a situation, unless there's been an emergency like COVID or something like that, where that tool's been wrong. But this rate cut could have been a message to Trump, or actually, let's rephrase that. This FOMC meeting was a message to Trump, but Powell chose to send a "fuck you, I'ma do what I believe is right" message to Trump, versus actually cutting rates and aligning himself with this current administration. Now, we also talked about how, Powell bit the hand that fed him, and, Trump placed him in power. He seemed like he was willing to go along with all the bullshit of the Biden administration, which is kind of weird, because if Harris won, if you recall, even though Powell was reluctant to cut rates, he was still doing it. So I would have to ask, what changed? Because once Trump was announced to be our next president, all of a sudden, he was saying that he plans on cutting rates the entire year to, okay, now, I'm not going to cut rates anymore. And that's that day when we had that big $1,000 point drop in the NASDAQ, and it just kept going down because Powell just did a 180 and said that he's not going to cut rates no more when Trump was announced to be the president. And he's been doing that. I really don't know why. Like, why all of a sudden now you care about inflation and shit when you wasn't caring about it before? But Powell chose to stand on business. And if y'all caught it towards the end of the FOMC meeting, if you were able to watch it, one of the reporters, the journalist, asked, what advice would you give the new Fed chair? And that was not, that question was not asked it wasn't done not on purpose. That question was purposely asked because, as we said yesterday, if he would have cut rates, it would have sent a message to Trump that, hey, I'm willing to align with your plan for the economy, and let's work together. And he could have used that if he continued to cut rates up until his reappointment. He could have used that as a negotiation chip to continue to be the Fed chair if that's what he wants to be. But for whatever reason, he chose to go on his own path. Now, here's the thing that I don't necessarily agree with. He knows that, well, okay, I mean, I guess it's like two sides of the story. What's the point of being replaced by somebody that's going to do what you could have done anyway, and you can maintain your seat of power, your seat of influence? Because if Powell's not going to do it, the person that's going to replace him will do it. So why not just do it? But then I can also understand that maybe Powell doesn't want to go down in the history books as the Fed chair that caused inflation. Or I guess inflation, I mean, it's already happening now. But I guess a total economic crash to happen under his watch. I can also understand that too. So, I mean, I can understand both sides. But retirement is not what it's chalked up to be. We talked about that word being a has-been. It's as painful as it sounds. I'm pretty sure we all kind of hate the roles that, or not, we don't hate it, but you can hate a role is what I meant to say. But and you tell yourself, man, I want to take a vacation. I want to do something different. I want to do something else. And then when you stop doing it, what do you find yourself talking about? What do you find yourself thinking about? The same thing that you try to get away from. That's just how us humans are designed. That's why I think that humans are meant to be slaves, because that's all we do is want to work. If we're not working, we don't feel purpose. If we don't feel purpose, we feel like we're dying. It's crazy just how we're set up. It's like we're just meant to work and be slaves and shit. But it's going to hit him when he's no longer the Fed chair. It's going to hit him like a ton of bricks. And because this is Trump's, he's not going to be the Fed chair. And Trump still has 2 more years? I highly doubt that he can get another high-powered position while Trump is in power. I highly doubt it. I mean, he could probably be in the private sector, but if Trump wants to be a dick, he can't work for the government. If he wants to be a dick about it, he was like, shit, I wish you would hire Powell. I wish you would. Shit, I would do it. Man, you ain't gonna be no Fed chair and then try to think you can get another high-powered position in the private sector. I wish you would. Anyway. Shit, we can be petty. You wanted to be petty about not cutting rates? Well, I'm gonna be petty about pressing on whoever tries to hire your ass. You better get a regular job. And then you can worry about the economy, damn it. You're gonna get a regular job. But that's just how I would do it. Since you want to be petty, we can be petty too. I can be petty too. But I mean, he chose what he chose, so now he's gonna have to live with his decision. He's not gonna be the Fed chair past his term. There's definitely gonna be somebody new. I would assume that he would want that, but you know, I guess that would just be my assumption, I guess. I mean, I get like, dude, I understand that, bro, kid. I mean, shit. I mean, even the Powell pump. I've gotten. I mean, our generation knows Powell. I mean, I don't know nobody else except Powell. It's gonna be hard to accept anybody as a Fed chair but Powell. But I mean, there's a game. Shit. I mean, when I go to work every day, I gotta play a game. I mean, regardless if I'm the smartest person in the room or if I'm not the smartest person in the room, I mean, there's a game that I have to play. And Powell should have known that. He should know that. I mean, shit, you're in politics, dude. You can't be in politics and try to be virtuous. There's a game being played. You're literally in a den of snakes, wolves, lions. You're in a den full of predators that eat the weak. And all that virtue shit. If you didn't want to be virtuous, then you shouldn't get into politics. I mean, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, I get it. Because, I mean, me personally, I'm not going to compromise my integrity for nobody. But at the same time, I'm not going to put myself in a position to be played either. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to be in a position that Powell's in because I understand that in order to win that game, I would have to compromise my integrity. So I won't even play that position. I won't even apply for that role. But he applied for that role. So that would assume that obviously that if you want to win this game, then all your virtues and all that other stuff, and that goes out the window because you put yourself in that position. Does that make sense? You put yourself in that position. So if you want to win the game, that's how you got to play it. I'm not going to put myself in a situation like that because I'm not going to win, because I'm not going to compromise my integrity. So, I mean, that's why I can respect Powell standing on business, but you're not going to win the game doing that. So, I mean, that is my point. Well, he's not a politician, but he's playing a political game. And I'm not saying political as in politician. We're talking about politics. We're talking about the rules of the game. That's what I'm talking about. He's in a high-powered position. He is the Fed chair of the central banking system, which is its own entity. It's a high-powered game, man. He's dealing with a lot of people's money. If you listen to any of the interviews that Trump does, the reason why he wants interest rates down so much is because they're paying trillions of dollars of interest on their debt. That's exactly right, Trader Shop. And that's exactly what I mean. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying it with both sides. I can understand Powell because I'm exactly the same way. I will not compromise my integrity for nobody or nothing. But if I apply for a position that requires me to do that, that means that I have to accept that I can no longer play by those rules. I can't. I can't. You know exactly what he was doing when he took that position. But I mean, but he decided, so obviously he doesn't want the job anymore. Obviously he doesn't want the job. I was actually sitting about thinking, I was like, dude, where did Powell go wrong? Or where did the relationship between Powell and Trump go wrong? Because I mean, he was appointed by Trump, but it seemed like had a better, I mean, I guess as I said it before, it seemed like he aligns more with Democratic views, or he aligned more with the Biden administration. Like I said, he was willing to cut all kind of rates. So I wonder what the hell they was asking. I wonder what they had over him. I mean, like, dude, like, what changed? That would be my question. If I was a reporter in that room, and I think he was already asked this situation, I just forgot what his response was. It's like, dude, why change? You was willing to cut rates, and that's and right, kid, that's another thing. He was willing to cut rates if Harris became president. All right, so it's like gold is moving, but silver is not. All right, so let's look at gold and see if we can, find something. See if we can find something. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. What's up, Tony Gold? What's up? Yep, that's exactly right. I mean, the world has, I don't know if anybody, so if you're in the corporate world, if you're in the corporate world, I'm pretty sure you've noticed that everything has become low-key dystopian. Low-key. And what I mean by that, for those that don't understand what I'm saying, is that everything is becoming more process-driven. SOPs, policies, documentation, etc., etc. If you're deviating away from SOPs and policies and documentations and stuff like that, you will find yourself no longer working there. Because it seems like a lot of that now is being focused from, other people that I speak to in different in the same world but with different companies. It just seems so dystopian now. If you don't understand the game that's being played, you would just find yourself no longer employed. Because it seems like I guess how do I want to say this? If you're not a part of a group, then you become the person that everybody targets. It's almost tribal, almost. You know that you're good if you can make mistakes, and nobody from senior management or middle management comes and say anything to you. They just allow you to make all kinds of mistakes, then you know you're good. But if you're getting nitpicked at, that's politics. If you're like, oh, you didn't sign your timesheet. Oh, you didn't dot your T's or cross your T's and dot your I's and stuff like that. That's politics. And they'll paper you until they have enough paperwork to get rid of you. That's nothing new, but I'm just starting to see a lot more of it though. Especially with the government shutdowns and the Doge the first time. Yeah. I mean, I understand that, Rug Kid. I do. But, yeah. So, the Trader Shop, you want to see a 500-point pullback. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if gold has a 500 point pullback. We just it just moved to the new contract. So the old contract was trading at I I think it reached the highs of 448. This contract reached a high of 580, so we have like a 100-point plus pop up due to the contract change. Actually, the high of this was, my bad, let me take that back, was 56.25, 27 on the micros on the April contract. So I don't know, man. I don't think we get a pullback, man. I think we go higher. Dude, man, these markets are completely divorced from reality at this point. It's complete. I mean, silver is up. Shit, the last time I looked is like what, at 117? It reached 119. Silver reached 119. Literally, it was trading at $5? How much? Hold on. What was... Oh, if this AI tool gets this thing wrong. So the price of silver on January 1st, hold on. Silver price on changes a lot year to year. What the fuck? Dude. What was the price on, dude? Like, dude, like, come on. Like, dude, this thing is being stupid. This thing is being fucking stupid, man. Oh. This thing asked me like which year did you mint? What do you think? Like, what do you think? All right. So apparently on January 1st, silver was trading at $71.63 per ounce. It reached a high of 120, 119. 119. Dude, these metals are going crazy, man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. So what do you think will make it crash? Yeah, I know that's yeah. Yeah, dude, it's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy, man. I know a lot of people got caught with this drop right here. Yo, I got caught with this drop. Dude, look at these gaps. Like look at this these gaps on the 100 tick chart. I mean, it's only on the 100 tick chart. But when gold flash crashed down, I was like, yo, fuck, man. Fuck. I mean, I was able to get my money back, but I was like, fuck, man, that shit just flash crashed down out of nowhere. Silver did the same thing. Oh, actually, you say you tried trading silver one time and it was enough? Shit. Hey, I mean, when we first started trading silver, we got away with the minis. If you traded at support and resistance, an 18 tick stop is all you needed. Now I need a 27 tick stop, and that shit still gets hit sometimes. I'm not going past 27 ticks because that's too much money. I mean, if you can, so this is what I tell people, man. If you can master silver, you can take 3 losses and 1 big win will wipe out your loss and give you the P&L that you need. It is scary, I will say that. But if you just wait for, like, I mean, if you're trading gold, you can trade silver. They literally move the same. Or silver moves like old gold, or the way that gold used to move before it took a line of coke and started trying to trade like the Nasdaq. It trades like old gold. So if you know how to trade old gold, you can trade new silver. I think that's why I do pretty well with silver, at least for right now. I do well with silver because it's the same concept. So if you trade gold, you can trade silver. It's just that you have to be mindful that if you're trading at supply or demand, you got to respect your stop, because anything, 27 point stop on the minis is of what, $675, which is basically $700 per loss on one contract. I trade with 2 micros, and a 27 tick stop is a $270 loss. I can lose 3 times. I'll lose $810. I make one, I do one win, and I can kind of bring it back. Because 72 ticks is on 2 contracts. That's $720. I would just have to make 100 more. So I think if I were to get 81 ticks, I'll be able to break even. And that's just the beauty with silver, is that the risk to reward, I mean, not only is the risk to reward is pretty good, but then at the same time, you can play the numbers game with silver. Because let me show y'all guys my silver account. So this account is, I can only trade silver in this account. Dude, I almost blew this account, man. I almost blew the account. Like this account was almost gone. And then I came back with silver, and now I'm up on silver. This is just playing the numbers game. And then on some of these trades, on some of these days, I didn't have to lose like $1,500. I think I just went tilt. These days where it's more than like $700. I just went tilt these days, I think, because I think I got tired of it. It doesn't matter. I don't really remember. I'm just making assumptions. But these are just one trade. And I brought the account back from getting blown. I was like, what, $500 away from the accounts being blown, and silver literally brought it back. Literally. I mean, silver is the reason why I got down there, but at the same time, silver is the reason why I came back. So, yeah. Yeah. So the risk and reward on silver, if I play the game correctly. Well, I guess the point of me showing you this is that this is what it looks like when I play the game incorrectly. Having these big losing days is me playing the game incorrectly. If I didn't have these big losing days, then I would be super up, if that makes sense. Like this right here is about what, $3,600 in losses. It took 3 wins just to take out these 2 days. And now I have these winning days right here. It takes out these days. This winning day takes out this day, or it basically takes out this day. So I have these 2 losing days. So if I didn't have these 2 losing days, I would probably be like super up in this account, obviously. But yeah, it seems like man, I've been reading a lot of messages in the in Top Steps Discord, and it seems like a lot of people, they bring and I'm not saying that you do this, the Trader Shop. I'm just speaking generally. A lot of people are saying that the metals made them appreciate the Nasdaq more. And they said that, man, trading the Nasdaq is now a dream after trading metals. And I was like, well, I mean, if you trade the metals like the Nasdaq, you're going to get stopped out like a lot. You're going to get stopped out. These are commodities. These are low liquidity items. Just because they're moving, it doesn't mean that these things trade with a lot of liquidity. So in order to make up for that liquidity, it needs to run stops. You can see that these contracts are literally trading under 100,000 contracts. You see gold right now is only trading with And this is the old contract. Actually, let me put the new contracts on here. I don't know. GC 04-2. Oh wow, that's a lot of liquidity for gold. That's a lot. But then it is the day after FOMC, so it is the day after FOMC. But that is a lot of liquidity for gold. Gold usually doesn't get to like 300,000. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's more normal for gold. This is abnormal right here. Okay. So I'll just remove this column. Honestly, I really don't know. He said it's too volatile. Oh yeah, so that guy that had the $36 million position, he actually closed. Good thing he closed. It was a good thing that he closed it. Yeah, so he closed it. Excuse me. So you already know that all the degenerates were saying, yeah, he paper hand this. He should have just held on to it and see what happened to it. See, look. Or what they were saying. Bro, he says bro couldn't hold for one more day. Shit. He said a 5-point stop. You already know how that shit go. This guy's laughing at him losing. You know, honestly, I had to check myself too. Because I almost got caught up in this energy and I was asking myself, why the hell would you want somebody to lose? You're a trader too. Like, why would you bet on somebody to lose? Now, I understand that the guy was trading in the wrong direction. I wouldn't put a $36 million short on silver. But at the same time, I mean, everybody in this market is to speculate and make money. So I had to check myself. It's like, no, I'm not going to sit here and laugh or get into the groupthink of he deserved it because he had an assumption. He put money on the line. He stopped out, or at least he closed the position. He didn't get liquidated. I think he lost what, $4.6 million is what it said. Yeah, $4.8 million loss. $4.8 million loss. But he put down 36 million, so I think that's not even. Hold on. He put down 36 million. All right, so apparently the trader lost only 13% of the account. He only lost 13% of the account, which I guess it really depends on how you look at it, because I mean, some people will blow the entire account due to stubbornness. They will lose everything versus just losing only 13% of the account. So he closed the position. A lot of people wouldn't even do that. Shit, I'm one of those people. Shit, it's gonna hit my damn stop, damn it. I mean, unless that was my stop that got hit, then, you know, I would accept that loss. But I mean, I've gotten to the point to where it says, fuck it. I mean, we're in too deep. Either it hits my target or I blow the account. I mean, I've gotten to that point. So yeah, I mean, better luck next time, I guess, for this trader, whoever this trader is. Okay. I mean, apparently he was in profits, but you know, I get it too. I get it. I mean, shit, we don't open positions to break even. We open positions to either win or lose. I mean, I don't open up no position to break even. I'm not. I don't even consider break even as an option. I'm not breaking even. I don't care. I don't care. I'm here to win or lose. That's it. That's it. I mean, it sucks to it sucks to have an opportunity. I mean, dude, there's so many scenarios where your feelings will get hurt. But but there's only one scenario where you feel vindicated, and that's when you open up a position and it goes to your target and it fills your order. That's the only situation where you're vindicated. But there's so many scenarios where your feelings will get hurt. Like it goes up to your target, misses it by a tick, stops you out, and then goes to your target. Or it can chop. You can close it because you don't think it goes anywhere, and then it goes to your target without you. I mean, there's just so many different scenarios where it just creates negative emotions, and there's only like one situation where you'll have a positive experience. So I guess to minimize that, you just have to accept, you know, what happens, man. That's why I just keep it simple. Either it hits my stop or it hits my target. I do accept that there's going to be situations where my feelings are going to get hurt, and I'm going to cry on the treadmill about it. But you know what I'm going to do after I get done crying? I'm going to get back at this desk, and I'm going to keep jabbing. I'm going to keep trading. I'm going to go for the next position, and hopefully whatever I'm trading is not going to be nasty to me. I mean, it's just too many emotions to deal with. And so it's like, yeah, I'm just going to simplify it, man. I don't want to feel regret. Regret lingers. It turns into tilt low key. Like, I don't want to be in a position where price goes in my direction. You know, I get fearful because you're like, man, if this doesn't hit a target, you know, I won't get the payout. And I've done that so many times, man. And then I blow the account right after because it's like, man, you know, I bitched out. I didn't let it hit my target, and I, you know, closed, lock it out, and then it not only does it hit the target, it exceeds it. And now I'm sitting here not even appreciating the money that I made, you know? I've done that. That's why it's like, no, fuck it, man. It's going to hit my target. I don't want to take profits, man. If it hits my stop, then, you know, I have to deal with it. But it's easier said than done, obviously, but at least I tried. At least I can, you know, I can stand tall and say, you know, I tried, you know. I tried. I got beat up, but I tried. But it's that regret lingers. The pain of loss, you feel it. It's like a bee sting. You feel it for a couple of hours and then it goes away. It goes away. You said copper right now is going crazy. I haven't looked at copper in a while, man. Ah, shit. Look at that, dude. God damn, copper. Damn, girl, what's up? God damn. So copper and gold did exactly the same thing. Let's look at copper, man. That's crazy. Copper's, what the hell are you doing, copper? What are you doing? Damn, look at that big push higher. I mean, it's running stops. Is this an all new all-time high for copper? I'll have to look into that. Copper is running stops. Santiago says, not looking like you're praying for that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that too, Sleepy. Yeah, it's not funny when other traders lose money. It's not funny. I don't ever want to get into the idea of thinking that that's funny. It's not. It's not funny. But if you're in an environment where that is funny, like Wall Street Bets, where everybody's a regard, okay, then it's funny then. It's funny then because that's what the environment is for. But I ain't gonna never hate on nobody that's trying to make some money in this game. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be a part of that group think. All right. Yeah, copper, dude, that's kind of crazy. I had a couple of good trades on copper. And then this entire week, or I think it was last week, I wasn't able to find any trade on copper. It's starting to trade like it's gold now too, where it doesn't come back to the order block. It trades at that pivot. And that's why I was missing a lot of trades last week. This week, that's why I was like, well, I might as well just go back to gold because honestly, it's not even worth waiting for that on copper because copper takes all day to move. Yeah, you can kind of see it like right there at that pivot instead of coming back to the see. And this is what gold's been doing too. So I was like, well, if copper is going to do it and gold is going to do it, I might as well just go back to gold and trade gold because obviously this is the range. You can see that price just straight up traded right through the goddamn thing. But the move that everybody was probably looking for happened at that damn pivot right there. So if you're a metals trader, at least for right now, because it wasn't always like this, but it is like this now, look for that pivot and take a chance at it because it's not going back to that order block anymore. You can see that it just ran right through the damn thing. It ran right through this thing. It came back and then it ran right through it and then it came back. I mean, obviously it was traded right through this thing, but I was like, well, I mean, if it's going to keep doing that, I might as well just trade gold. And then after it ran everybody out, and then it dumps from that area. And then here it does it again. This is the order block. And it was doing this shit all freaking last week, man. I didn't get no trade last week, man. And then the one trade that I would have gotten, I ran out of time. And then as soon as I run out of time, it wants to work. So that's the order block. But oh no, let's just trade at the pivot for whatever reason. Fuck this order block. Let's just dump at the pivot. And then it goes into the order block. And then it just goes higher. So I guess that's just a new way of trading metals right now. Another pivot trade right there. It trades at that pivot. I mean, this time, I guess it did kind of reject right there at that order block, but it didn't give it up easy. It did not give that shit up easy. But another pivot trade right there. And that's for tonight. So yeah, copper's been trading at that pivot. So another pivot trade right there. Another pivot trade right there. Another pivot trade. Pivot trade right there. This is the order block. And you can see that it did not work. Again, this shit did not work. The order block's right there. The pivot's right there. Price trades right into the order block. I guess it kind of rejects a little bit, but then it stops you out and then it goes in the direction. Another pivot trade right there. So, okay. Yeah. So I like I said, but the crazy thing is before, and like, dude, this is like, dude, I swear every time I go on a damn instrument, it always changes. Like it's like they don't want to see me win or something. That's how I feel. I literally back tested copper for 2 weeks and it would actually trap traders at that pivot to go to the order block and then I even made a spreadsheet. Hold on, let me try to find that spreadsheet. I made a spreadsheet of this shit. I was like, okay, I think I've seen enough. Let me see if I can find the damn spreadsheet, dude, because that's just how crazy this is. Okay. All right, so here's the spreadsheet, dude. I literally went back 2 weeks and look at how many times it touches that pivot. It breaks it so often and it will go back to the order block that it gets to the point to where I don't even regarded that pivot as a valuable trade because it would break it. But if it does bounce at that area, it was only going like 50, 20, 40 ticks, 46 ticks, 38 ticks. You had a couple of times where it went like 100 ticks, like maybe 2 times, but for the most part, it would break. But if you traded back at that order block, that's where you got the big moves on copper. And I literally back tested this shit and documented the results. And then all of a sudden now it wants a damn change. So I feel like I wasted my time with that. Like, what the hell, copper? Now it's, if you're trading at that pivot, you're making the money. And if you got your limit sitting at that order block, then nah, you're going to lose money and your feelings are going to be hurt. But okay, I think we've beaten that horse enough. I think that horse is dead now. Copper is still, or not copper, silver is still trading in this range. It's still trading in this range. ES. You know, that's actually a 2-legged pullback into support. This actually might be, well, I guess let me say that I don't necessarily trade the ES anymore. So I really don't know how it moves. But if I'm looking at this chart with an unbiased opinion, what I see is, well, I guess the first thing I see is a drop, a base, a drop, and this is the base. We see price taking all the liquidity underneath this low. We're seeing the market take all the liquidity that was sitting above the high. We see a 2-legged pullback into the range that broke structure to the upside. So that's the range right there. And look at that. It bounced at the 50% of this range. I think we see a pullback, and I think that we see the market trade a little bit higher here on ES. I think we see a continuation higher. Just looking at this from an unbiased perspective. Same thing with the NASDAQ. But, I mean, I guess the NASDAQ could potentially go down a little bit lower. Maybe. Possibly. We could see another leg down because the NASDAQ has not mitigated this range at all. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily have to. You got this order block sitting right here. Price hasn't come back and mitigated this order block. So that would make me assume that price could come back down here to mitigate this block on the NASDAQ. It's already done it on the ES. It doesn't mean that the ES can't come back down and I mean, it's already been mitigated, so it doesn't mean that the ES can't come down and touch this block again before pushing higher, but we got the bears failing to hold the market. We're seeing the market run the stops above this high. I'm waiting for a pullback and for a continuation higher on the ES. But the NASDAQ still needs to mitigate this block. You caught the 50 on NQ this morning? Where exactly did you find it? Yeah, sure. I'll share it with the stream. Yeah, sure. All right, let me make sure 04 or MGC 04-26. Yeah, thanks to you, Santiago. I'm like I said, I'm glad that you brought it to my attention because it's definitely elevated my my game. A combination of my existing entry model. I never would have thought like kind of going like for those that are not familiar with me and Santiago was talking about, but I just look for a range. So previously before, I wouldn't think to even trade the 50% right here. I would just put my limit at the top of the range and put my stop at the bottom of the range. But with this 50%, I could just put my limit at the 50% of the range, get a better fill. It's usually tick perfect. I mean, in this situation, I would have gotten filled. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I would have gotten filled. I would have only been a ticking drawdown. And I would have caught, let's see how much this, let's see. Yeah, that's like 130 ticks right there. And this is why I always advocate just wait for the range, the break, trade the pullback. These are easy trades. They're so easy. When I adhere to this entry model, I get perfect days. I get paid out. When I get emotional and trade outside of this entry model, I get mixed results. My results are no longer measured. I'm basically gambling. And I get mixed results, as I said. That's why I have a one trade policy, because what I noticed that I like to do is that if I know that I have multiple chances of making money, I do take risky trades outside of this entry model, because I said I'll just follow up. But usually what happens in that follow-up trade is that I don't wait. I mean, I'm not going to wait for because this requires a sound body and mind and patience. And if you just lost money, you're not going to be of sound body and mind. You're going to want to get your money back as soon as possible. And what I find myself doing is, instead of waiting for the next setup, is trying to brute force and try to get my money back as soon as possible. Which, as I showed before, this is kind of what happened during these days where I got these big losses, because I was trying to brute force my way back into profitability. And instead of taking these one losses, I took a bigger loss because but this is what my P&L begins to look like when I only take one trade. Actually, yeah, you can see it right there. Like 5 trades, 4 trades. I did take 4 trades today though, because in this account I did give myself 2 trades. I did lose 1 trade. The next trade I made my money, but I didn't make enough money. My follow-up trade lost, and then that 4th trade was able to get me back to my maximum daily profit today. So I did take 4 trades, but it's not like I didn't take 4 trades because in the account I only have like I only allow myself to take 2 trades. So I lost the first trade. I was able to make my money back on the second trade. I lost that third trade, and I made the money that I needed on that fourth trade. But you can see that all I do is just try to take 1 trade. But on the days where I take multiple trades is when I have the mixed results. And yeah. Yeah, dude, yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly that's exactly my my story too. You know what, Santiago, I hate it though, man. I hate that, man. I hate it. Or I don't hate it. I just hate the idea that I have to wait for 1 trade that's guaranteed profitability instead of being able to get in front of the chart. Excuse me, to get in front of the chart at any point in time and take a trade and be profitable. Like look how many trades this one range right here. Like there's 3 trades in this one range right here. 3 trades. Little to no drawdown. That's 12 points. That was 16 points. And that was 13 points. All right, so our boy Santiago posted. Okay, nice. So Santiago uses the GAN box, and he's just looking for his 50%. And it looks like, yeah, look at that, hit that 50%. It looks like he took this trade right there, and he took that 50% right there. So yeah, good shit. Good shit, Santiago. Yep, and I'm in the same boat. When I don't take these winning trades, I lose. When I try to be cute. Yeah. Yep. All right. So it looks like, yep. Okay, so there goes. Yep. So this is, I understand why y'all guys tell me to stay with the ES. The ES price action is so predictable. You got the break, you got the pullback, and you're getting the continuation higher. This is kind of predictable for the ES. Silver kind of does the same thing. Silver, I feel like silver is a mix between old gold and ES with the structure. And that's kind of why I can kind of trade silver the same way I would trade ES, because it kind of does the same thing. Not exactly, but kind of. But this was pretty obvious on the ES. On the NASDAQ, we'll see. He said we got SMT on ES. Oh no, it's what's the ES? He said SMT? Is that smart money? No, what was that? What is SMT? Forgot what that was again. Oh, smart money techniques. Oh, okay, okay. Wait, so I had to remember. You said that's another thing you do? So how do you use that on the NASDAQ? But yeah, like I said, I think since the NASDAQ hasn't mitigated this block right here, I think the market is gonna come down first on the NASDAQ. I think it comes down. I mean, but I guess it could also just squeeze past these stops right here. Because I mean, we do got this range right here. I mean, obviously, I've drawn the ranges right there. There's that range. We have the break of structure. I mean, the market hasn't necessarily mitigated this area right here. I'm A plus set up for a short. This is a break and retest trade to the downside, but I would feel uncomfortable with my entry being here on the NASDAQ. I would be super uncomfortable. Because the NASDAQ and the ES, they do deviate from each other from time to time, but they don't deviate that much. I don't think I've seen a situation where the NASDAQ goes down and the ES is still climbing higher. I don't think I've seen it. If you guys seen it, then at the same time, I really don't even look at the NASDAQ like that anymore, unless y'all guys say something about it. So it posted on the SM2. Oh, so yeah, the divergence. Yeah. Hold on, is that the NASDAQ? And this is the ES, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go back to one trade, man. I'm gonna go back to one trade. Going back to one trade today. Oh. Yeah, it's about like 9 minutes away from 10 o'clock. I mean, yeah, dude, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. It's not worth losing sleep over. We'll get the same price action tomorrow. We'll get it set up tomorrow. You know, the one thing that I hated on silver when I looked at the charts tonight was that silver had literally two great positions happen after the FOMC meeting. We had this breakout pullback trade. That literally just pulled back into that range, and I hated that. I hated seeing it. I hated seeing that right there. Hated seeing that. I was like, damn, dude. Damn. It's like this thing just couldn't save this one for the next session instead of doing that towards the end. And I think oh, was this one? Yeah, this was another one right here. Right there. So I had two good trades towards the end of the day, and I was like, you know what, man? Two good trades that if I was if this happened at the open of the next session, I would have had this trade or I would have had that one. But the trade that I actually took was I forgot which one. Forgot. I think I took this trade going back up. I didn't trade. I kind of traded a momentum trade because when I came back to the desk, I saw the market was going off of momentum. So I took the break of this candle right there, and this is why. That's why I had yeah, because yeah, I took the break of my I took the break of this candle, but it came back and stopped me out, and then I just re-entered right there, and then it hits my target. But then I didn't make the maximum daily profit, so I re-entered. It hits my stop, and then I re-entered in the same spot, and then it hits my target, and I finally was able to make the money that I needed. And then it dropped. So I was like, dude, I'm just so glad it just worked out until, because if I was being super greedy in this situation, it would have came back and stopped me out. It would have came back and stopped me out, and I would have felt some type of way about that, for sure. No, I didn't catch it. So when I came and looked at the charts, um, the market did this and this at the end of at the end of yesterday's session, which kind of sucked. Oh, there's a range right there. Ugh. I didn't even see this one right here. I didn't see this. I'm just now seeing the range. You know, honestly, I probably would have had a hard time trusting this one because it missed this thing so many times. I mean, it finally touches it and dumps. I don't know, man. I would have a hard time trusting this after seeing this thing reject from this range about 4 times before it actually touched it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bed. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do this weekend is like I said, do some super bag testing and probably document what I see. And I would highly recommend for those that are not finding measured results in their trading, kind of document how often the market is trading at, I don't know, like at a level, how many times the market will react at a double top, a double bottom. Look for practice looking for ranges, because that's basically my strategy. Just looking for ranges and seeing how price reacts at these ranges, these trading ranges. Identify where the market is consolidating, kind of like right here. Just document how often the market does specific things. All right, Santiago. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a trade for the stream. Silver just slowed down out of nowhere. It just stopped moving. Don't know why it did that, but it just stopped moving. But gold, on the other hand, yeah, I mean, it looks like if I was paying attention to this, these were 3 good trade setups from one area, which is wild. Okay, I see it. I see it. So I'm looking at my other chart, and kind of like what I was saying about what time was that? About now how the market is using order blocks to trap traders. 9:38, 7:38, 7:38. 738. So no wonder why this range. So this was the order block right here. That was the order block for this break. And look at what gold did again. It traded at the pivot. It didn't go to the order block. And it trades at the pivot. It breaks the pivot. So it pulls back. So the order block breaks out, makes a pivot, and then it comes back. Instead of going back to the order block to go higher, you can see that it traded at the pivot again and went higher. And gold's been doing that a lot. So lately. And now, again, this is another situation where the market is using the order block to trap traders. So everybody that was in at this order block got stopped out. And they just basically rotated back and forth around this order block. And then once they've had everybody all nice and stopped out, they break from the order block. You can actually see that there's another range inside of this order block right there. You see it right there. They break and they pull back to the order block this time. And then they do that. And then they break the range. And then they use the order block now to make the move higher. So it's dangerous now to trade at the order block. But we'll start trading gold more often. And like I said, I'll probably start trading that pivot and we'll see what happens, man. We'll trade gold more. We'll trade gold more. But all right, guys, I'm out of time for this session. I do appreciate everybody that joined me tonight. We'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.